Welcome to these Prolapse safe abdominal exercises for women living with prolapse or after prolapse surgery. Hi, I'm Michelle, and today I'm guiding you through a routine of core abdominal exercises if you have prolapse problems or if you've had prolapse surgery in the past. Now, this is one of the most common questions I get asked is how to exercise abdominal muscles safely with prolapse problems. We know that intense abdominal core exercises can actually worsen prolapse symptoms, so exercises like your abdominal curl exercises. Now, these exercises today that we're going to go through, these 5 exercises, strengthen and tone these deep abdominal muscles here. These are your deep abdominal core muscles. They're like a belly band, so they wrap around through here, right around and attach to the spine. What they do is they support the spine, they support the pelvis, they work with the pelvic floor, and they also too flatten the appearance of the belly and trim the waist too, if that's what you're after. So we're going to be doing the exercises lying down on the mat. I'll meet you down on the mat. As always, if any of the exercises cause you any discomfort or any prolapse symptoms, please cease them straight away. And make sure if you're returning to these exercises after you've had prolapse surgery that you have the approval of your surgeon to start exercises. So let's get started. We'll be coming right down onto our sides. So coming onto one side. So we're going to take our time going through the correct technique to activate these muscles first, because this is the key element for doing the rest of the exercise routine correctly. So coming down onto one side is a really nice way to learn these exercises. In this position here, place your hand over your pelvic bone here, and then just slide your fingers off the inside. Now, allow your belly to relax. Allow your muscles to completely relax through there, let it all hang out. So you can feel the belly will soften. What we do with this particular exercise is we draw these lower muscles here that below the briefs, they sit between the navel and the pubic bone. And we're actually going to just gently activate them just to tense that lower abdominal wall. Now, this is your key exercise to learn, so take your time learning this exercise. Pause the video if you need to take your time and practice it. We're going to be actually drawing these muscles in just a tiny little bit. So you feel a tension develop in this area here when you're doing the exercise. These muscles up here shouldn't contract. Your six-pack muscles, if they're pulling in, you're contracting too strongly. So when I feel this exercise, and keep your head down so that your head's supported, your neck's in a correct position, use a pillow if you need to. But when I do this exercise, I just get the tiniest in-draw, so tiniest tension in this area. And if you're lucky, you'll feel your pelvic floor muscles activate at the same time. Now, with those muscles on, try to breathe. So keep the belly just gently tensed, gently in-drawn here. Feel that gentle tension there. Can you breathe in and out? Sometimes that's an exercise in itself, isn't it? Breathe in and out. See if you can hold the tummy muscles on. Breathe in and out. And one more time. And now allow the tummy muscles to relax back down. How did you go with that? Not as easy as it looks, is it, to do it correctly? The most important thing is you don't pull in too hard, because if you do that, you're going to put pressure down on your pelvic floor and on your prolapse. So we want to do this exercise really well. Now, let's progress this exercise. Once you've got the hang of doing that, bring your fingers back over the top here. I'd like you to have your heels stacked roughly in line with your bottom. And we're going to combine this abdominal exercise with a clam exercise to make it a little bit more complex and effective too for pelvic stability. So tummy muscles are coming on. They're activating just gently. So activate through your lower abdominal wall and breathe. And now while you hold those muscles on, just gently, just lift the top knee away from the bottom knee and then lower it down slowly. Can you keep your tummy muscles on and repeat that? Lift and down. Can you see how small that lift and lower is? I'm not doing a great big rotation like that and rotating through my back. I'm really being specific about my abdominal core muscles and my hip muscles too. Let's see if we can do a couple more. Lift and down. And one more time. Can you hold the muscles on and breathe? Relax down and relax and let go. So you can then repeat that exercise on the other side. You can repeat up to 10 of these exercises in a row. And as I said, you can pause the video at any time to repeat these exercises and practice them. Now, our next exercise is a waist trimming exercise. It's a really effective core exercise, and it's just a little bit more challenging. It's probably the most challenging exercise I'll show you today. Now, what it involves is a side bridge. So coming into this position here, you need to take your elbow directly underneath your shoulder and your palms facing down, fingers facing down. Please be careful if you have shoulder issues doing this exercise, because it can be quite hard on the shoulders. So it might be an exercise that you might want to be careful with if you do have shoulder problems. With this exercise here, it involves lifting the hips up off the ground like that and down. And this uses the underside trunk muscles. And if you put your fingers there, you'll feel those muscles tensing. They're your waist trimmers, really. But it also exercises your hip muscles and your deep abdominal muscles and your spinal muscles. So wonderful exercise. To start out, you can try just lowering your body down, lifting up like that, lifting up, and you'll feel the tension develop in your waist muscles, and then you can just lower down. That's a particularly nice way of doing it if you've got a sore shoulder. You can lift up again, hold it, keep your tummy muscles braced if you can, so just gently activated the way I showed you before, and take it down. Now, to progress this exercise, what you do is you lift up. I like to bring a thumb, or my hand with my thumb pointing upwards, onto my hip, and I direct that straight up to the ceiling. So that way you get the right muscles working, you don't roll forward. So think about that thumb pointing to the ceiling, and you'll feel the abdominal muscles working right through your core there. Keep your shoulder back and down. Keep that elbow directly underneath your shoulder, and try to breathe if you can as well. And then just lower down slowly, and rest. How did you go with that? So that's a really quite intense exercise, isn't it? We'll do that again. But the wonderful thing is, it's not putting pressure down through your pelvic floor, because it's not activating these strong front abdominal muscles. It's your side muscles. They're not going to affect your pelvic floor detrimentally. Okay, let's go again one more time. Thumb pointing towards the ceiling. Tummy muscles gently activated. Push down through your elbow so your shoulder blade is engaged, and lift up just onto the knees. Don't go onto the feet with these, it's just too intense. Just keep it on the knees, shoulder back and down. Keep breathing if you can. I can really feel my sides working. I hope you can too at home. And come back down slowly and relax. You can work towards doing up to 10 seconds of those exercises, and at the end of the video I'll talk about how many exercises to do in a row. Then you can actually repeat this same exercise on the other side. Now, our next exercise involves coming over onto our hands and knees, so we're going to change position. So what we'll be doing is coming over onto hands and knees. Now, if you can't kneel, you can also do this exercise lying on your tummy. So if your knees are really sore, you could do this exercise in this position here. But what I'll do is I'll show you in 4-point kneeling, because that's the position that I'd really like you to be using. Alternatively, you could use the pillow underneath your knees, which might help as well. So in this position, I'd like you to start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. To do this exercise really well for your core muscles, you need to have the inward curve in your back. So if you can check that you've got that inward curve, if you're up like this, you're going to be over-bracing through your tummy, which we don't want to do. These muscles work best with the neutral spine or the inward curve in the lower back. Keep your elbows soft. They're like your springs to stop pressure into your shoulders. Now here, I'd like you to relax your belly again. So just let it all hang out. Let that lower belly hang down. I really like this position for this exercise because you really get some good feedback using these muscles. Now, I want you again to activate the deep abdominal muscles the way I showed you at the start. So very, very gently, this area here is drawing in just a little bit. So can you hold that on and breathe in this position? You don't want this top area pulling in too hard. It's just that gentle brace through there. And again, if you're lucky, you'll feel your pelvic floor developing some tension as well. So holding there and breathing, holding and breathing, and then relax the belly down. So that is an exercise in itself. Now, to progress this, we're going to take one leg out behind. So in that position again, shoulders back away from your ears, inward curve in the back. Just check your position before you start. Now, draw your lower abdominal muscles on just very gently. And let's take one leg out behind. So I've got my foot out behind, my leg out behind. I hope you can see me there. I'll come out a bit. So tummy muscles are on in that position. And you might like to hold it there. Or you can then progress to actually lifting that leg off the ground. So you can see that I'm not lifting my heel terribly high. I don't lift it higher than buttock height. It doesn't need to go high. If you lift it high like that, you're just going to overextend your back. So don't do that. Just keep it to that height there. And then you can lower it down. And then you can repeat that lift and lower just like that. You can see how I keep my back leg straight, my toe directed down towards the ground, so that I'm using my back muscles and I'm also using my deep abdominal core muscles at the same time, lifting and lowering. Let's just do a couple more there. So you can alternate with these. You can do lifts and lowers, and you can do long holds as well if you choose to. And take the leg down, and you might like to have a little stretch back after you've completed the exercise on that side, and then repeat it again up to 10 repetitions on the other side, if and when you feel comfortable to do so. Now, to progress this exercise, what do we do? Let's come back up again. And again, you work through your progressions at your own comfortable rate. So again, we're in that position, our starting position. Let your belly hang down. You've got the inward curve in your back. Draw the lower abdominal muscles on gently. Take the leg out behind. Now, the other arm can come forward. This is what's often known as the Superman exercise or the bird dog exercise. So the tummy muscles stay on, hips are staying facing downwards, and with your abdominal muscles braced, lifting up and lengthening, holding in that position, and then slowly lowering down. See if you can keep your tummy muscles on. I like to direct my thumb towards the ceiling with this exercise because it rotates my arm outwards. And again, you can see that my back leg isn't lifting high. I've got my back foot flexed, and my back leg is strong. I think one of the key mistakes women make with this exercise is they tend to roll that hip out. So make sure you imagine you've got headlights facing downwards from your hips. And you keep those tummy muscles on as you lift and lower, and you pretty soon find out that it's not as easy as it looks. It's quite a challenging exercise if you're doing it correctly. When you've finished, you can again slide back gently, have a breather. Again, you can do up to 10 of those exercises, and you can repeat on both sides. So as you can see, we've gone through a nice little routine there of abdominal core exercises that are appropriate for prolapse with pelvic floor problems. You can do these exercises daily if you choose to. You might like to choose particular exercises from the routine, and you can progress through the routine as you feel comfortable to do so as well. So I really hope you enjoy the exercises, and I really hope you feel the benefits for toning and strengthening through your deep abdominal core muscles and exercising safely with a prolapse. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, I'd really be grateful if you could give it a like below. And coming up next, I think we've got some Kegel exercises to stop prolapse worsening. So hang around for that if you'd like to do some Kegel exercises to stop your prolapse worsening. Thanks so much for exercising with me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now.